now mentioned that the configuration was going to be done by the COMELEC. That's not correct. It was going to be done by DOST under the memo of Mr. Tolentino, which is entitled Contingency Measure.
Okay.
Why the contingency measure? Because these things fail. On election day, if this compact flash card fails, the PICOS machine cannot be used.
Yes.
1,000 voters cannot vote.
Tama.
But so what they did, they pre-deployed 20 compact flash cards, which they could have bought if COMELEC in the locality had the money, they could buy in the local shop, so that in case of a failure, then they could easily replace it and allow voters to continue voting.
Okay.
If they did not have that contingency measure, then the precinct would have to be closed for the rest of the day, and 1,000 voters would lose their right.
No, I'd like to ask that there was another safety feature.
Right.
They gave them 2 burners. That looks really bad.
Okay.
Burn. But on the other hand, the program has to come from Cabuyao. The guy in the field says, oh, it doesn't work. I need a replacement of 3. So then they tell DOST calls up Cabuyao, tells COMELEC calls up Cabuyao then emails the program.
In a secured system, it's a secured email.
And then they burn that program into the CF.
Okay, so to end this CF card situation, this whole issue about
the problem, Karen, is that a lot of people think the CF card is something mysterious. It's not. It's an ordinary thing. It's an ordinary coupon bond you can buy from a bookstore.
So nothing, what you were saying is everything was above board in sending those additional CF cards for contingency purposes.
Yeah, in fact, Mr. Tolentino, during the session of the Joint Committee yesterday, said, look, this was an open communication that I sent to all COMELEC officials all over the country.
Okay.
Nothing mysterious about it.
But
so, you know, when you are suspecting, you see goblins and ghosts. You know, when you have a suspicious mind. So I cannot blame those people who have a suspicious mind. Mahirap kumbinsin yung mga tao na nagdududa. Di ba, pag nagdududa ka, kay Teddy, anything that Teddy and Roilo Golez would do, some people say, ano kaya ang ginagawa ni Teddy? Ano kaya ginagawa niya?
They're saying I'm defending Smartmatic. But I'll tell you one thing, because that was, opened another door of suspicion.
Mga kapwa tisoy kasi niya.
That opened the door to suspicion.
Actually, you guys don't need a host, huh? You can do that.
No, when he said, and then what do you put there? Well, the program said, if you did that, would you be able to erase the votes? Yes. That's why it's broken, so there's no more votes.
Okay.
So then what can you do? Then you have a new one. And you put it in.
Yeah.
Then what you do, you open the ballot box and you feed it again. Can you do that? Yes, I said you can do that. That would depend on the integrity of the BI. I can feed it in and I'll say, Golez. Ay, Golez pala, tapos. Locsin.
But you have to control the BI situation.
Yes,
That is a must. But how can you control 76,000 BIs?
Well, that's why I believe there was retail cheating, but wholesale cheating is hard. Like for example, refeeding. Turns out you can feed scanned ballots. Your arm will fall off if you're going to feed 800,000 votes all over the country. Let's say 10,000 in one area. Your arm will fall off between 10 a.m. 10 p.m. when the goons took over some places that I know, to 5 in the morning. I mean, how much but
one thing is clear, Karen.
Okay.
We've been going over the COCs. We've completed almost 80% of the COCs. I think today we can finish all of them. Not a single COC with an erasure, with what do you call it, snowflake, with smudges, with blood stain. Nothing. It's all clean. Because it's a clean electronic computer system. Yeah,
that's good news on the other hand.
That's good news.
Actually, what it shows is what we said. That, of course, there's no smudge. How could there be a smudge? It's generated by the machine, not by a human being. So if you're looking...
No handwriting.
Yeah, if you want to look for... That's the big problem. There's no handwriting, so a pre-filled ballot is the same as a genuinely filled ballot. You cannot tell the difference anymore.
That's true.
But that is outside the PICO system already.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the COCs will be clean. If you want to look for fraud, then you have to go before the COCs.
Yes, yes.
Well, that would be the subject of a protest.
Yes, yes. So, now, let me ask both of you this. Let's move on. would you suggest that we get Smartmatic again in 2013? Because let's face it, either we become like the other countries, that we don't automate, because there are some first world countries that are manual. I'm not saying we should do that, but I'm saying,
No.
at the end of the day, is what do we do when in 2013 is another midterm national election? Would it be Smartmatic again, or would you suggest another bidding, another company?
There will always have to be another bidding.
Okay.
I would favor Smartmatic if they can answer and plug the loophole. Why is it? Just make it more identifiable. More detailed. What happens when the audit log says it disappeared?
Okay.
Maybe there's a way of showing that who did it. I don't know if you can actually do that.
Okay.
But remember, at least we're familiar with the system, and we know now the holes. There are holes.
Okay.
You have to be really crazy to believe there are no holes that need to be plugged. But
In
at
my
least
case,
we know, so we can plug the loopholes.
Yes.
Can you imagine a brand new system?
No, can you imagine 2016 and you've perfected cheating? I mean, and
On
you
the
let that
other
all
hand-
go?
On the other hand, if we don't investigate this,
Yeah.
by 2016, these loopholes will be as big enough for trucks
Yeah.
to go through.
Exactly,
Well,
yeah.
the next national election will be on 2013.
Yes.
This will be senatorial, governor, congressman,
Midterm,
local
midterm.
positions. I would go for something similar to Smartmatic. I agree, there must be bidding.
Okay.
But I think it must be the PICOS type of a system. We know that already. We've gone through some birth pains. We
Okay.
don't need to introduce a new system like DRE, for example, post button, paperless. I think we should have something like this, but we must go through a bidding system.
And you want it to be Smartmatic again?
No, not necessarily. They must be a bidder, but it must be limited to a system similar to the Smartmatic system, because the system.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
but
ahead, sir.
remember, at this time, in fact, now, I
Yeah.
don't understand what the source code is doing in the Bangko Sentral. The elections are over. We kept it there so that people like Gus Lagman, there was a danger that if they manipulate it as they wanted to do, well, they might use it to cheat.
That's
well, now-
needed. That's needed so that they can do a post audit on the
That's right.
on the system.
Now,
Okay.
the question is, and I use this argument to defend the Smartmatic, now I take it back. What about intellectual proprietary
Now I
rights?
take it back.
I take it back. Because I was corrected by Nene Pimentel.
Okay.
So, to the point, you signed a non-disclosure secrecy agreement. You, a public official, in the most important political exercise in the country, you signed that you will not reveal what you know. That has no property rights. And I asked Che Cristobal, the head of IPO, before, he says, yeah, property rights are property rights. But when it comes to a national election, something as big as that, they have no right to keep that secret. Their right is, once they reveal it to me and to people as knowledgeable as Gus Lagman, etc., if we catch you reproducing that and selling it, I can go after you.
So what, you took back your signature?
No, forget it, it's there. I'm
It's
not gonna copy it.